Welcome to Secrets to Alignment with Savannah Schaffer. I am here to equip you with the belief and energy to make your dreams a reality. Take this time to fill your cup and align with the most vibrant version of you. Hello. Welcome back to the Secrets to Alignment podcast with your host, Savannah Schaffer. I am so happy that you are here today. I have just been having the most fulfilling and exciting week so far. I'm actually recording this on Tuesday, and I've been in conversation with so many of you guys through the podcast and through social media that have been reaching out about my new program, Aligned and Abundant. I am so pumped about this. I've been talking with so many of you about just what your guys' goals are with your business, the expansions that you're wanting to have in the next 6 months, and the mindset shifts and just the personal development that you are so committed to in this season of your life. And I just want to say that I am so freaking proud of you. I am so proud of you for continuously showing up and wanting to become a better version of yourself. Not a lot of people do that. So for you to be continuously showing up and just excited to get after it and actually turn inwards and see what you can course correct and just shift within, I think it's so incredibly impressive and exciting. I'm so proud of you. And today's episode is actually something that was brought to me through my social media. I asked you guys what topics you guys are wanting to hear about on the podcast, and the topic of trust came through a few different times. One of my friends and followers, Bala, he actually asked me how to trust in the process when the outcome is completely unknown. And I loved this question, and this is actually something that I have really dealt and kind of battled with in my own spiritual journey, entrepreneurship journey, especially when things are going like kind of crazy and you're not really understanding how is this all going to fall together? How is this all going to work out? I understand where you're at right now. I have absolutely been there myself, and I am so happy to just give you guys a couple tips and just bring you down a little bit and just ground you to make sure that you are feeling your absolute best and you have that solid foundation to create the business of your dreams on top of, or just the life of your dreams. Trusting in the process is not easy, and I'm going to give you guys a bunch of tips, and it's easier said than done, but I do want to just make sure that you guys are taking these practices and you're actually starting to implement them into your lifestyle. So the first one is learning to surrender. Now, again, when everything is going awry, it's really hard for you not to get caught up in all the chaos that is happening and start doubting, is this actually going to happen? Is the things going to work out the way that I would like it to? Is my business going to succeed? Is this relationship going to go the right way? And you start to get into this mode of just constantly second guessing things. And again, I have been there myself 100%, and it's such a hard place to be. But if you choose to surrender and you decide that I am going to let go of control and allow the universe to kind of guide me, allow God, whatever that you truly believe in, to guide me and lead me where I am meant to be, it really takes the pressure off of yourself to feel like you have to have it figured out 100% of the time. We might not understand what's actually going on, but we do know that you are always being guided and you are always being led to the lessons and the things that you need to learn so that you can better prepare for the future that you are creating. It's almost like you're looking at a game board right now and you don't know what the next few steps or obstacles or challenges are, but you know there are going to be some, and having that mindset of just knowing, okay, I'm in entrepreneurship or I'm in this type of industry, there's going to be challenges, and just accepting that and knowing like I'm going to learn from it, I'm going to grow from it. Or in relationships, I'm going to learn from this situation, I'm going to grow from this conversation. You're always able to continue to progress instead of staying stagnant and constantly ruminating on the past. Something that is super important for me is making sure that I actually have space to create this divine connection, whether that's through meditation or journaling or just taking a few deep breaths outside or talking to the sky. Whatever it is for you, find what it is that allows you to feel connected to source, to God, to the universe, and start implementing that on a daily basis. So like I mentioned, for me, it's personally meditating or journaling, or after my sauna sessions, walking outside and talking to the sky and talking to my angels and my spirit guides and all of the things. I'm into all the woo-woo, but you have to find what works best for you. And for me personally, I have to have that connection as frequently as possible so that I am always showing up from the best place and I am allowing myself to be guided and led through their hands. And it's not all on me to figure out exactly how this is all going to fall together. Of course, I'm going to be putting in the work. I'm going to be taking inspired action. I'm not going to just sit here and wish upon a star and wait for things to come into my life and shift my whole reality. But I do believe that if you take inspired action and you're also coupling it with this foundational belief of just knowing that everything is working out for you, and even when it doesn't seem like things are working out for you, really holding that faith right there, I think that it goes such a long way, and it truly does shift not only internally but externally what's going on in your world. I'm also really intentional about tuning into this energy whenever I'm going to hop on a call with one of my clients, or I'm doing group coaching sessions, or even before these podcasts. I always make sure that I am connecting and just allowing the universe, God, to speak through me and allow me to impact the lives of all the people that are listening and connecting with me in this way. Maybe for you, it's going to your workplace and making sure that you're just checking in with yourself before you go in so that you're not going to be feeling all these emotional pulls from all the different directions. You could just make sure to stay centered as frequently as possible, and I feel like you're going to feel a lot more grounded and in control even when things are out of your control, if that makes sense. I love creating mindful moments within my day. So these are just random times throughout the day that I make sure to just tune in and be present. It is so easy to be caught on autopilot and just be moving through the motions, and then all of a sudden it's 6 p.m. and you're like, oh my gosh, where did my day go? Or when did I actually take a second to breathe or whatever? And I think that it's very important for you to just check in with yourself throughout the day. And for me personally, I love doing that with my daughter. That's like one of the best ways for me, because when I am with her, she fills me with so much joy and just lightheartedness and happiness. And in the morning, I will like sit in her crib. I literally crawl into her crib with her and we read in the morning. Every single morning I wake her up and she goes, book, and she wants me to read. And then we sit in there, we snuggle, we cuddle, and I literally tell her over and over, I'm just like, I'm so grateful for you. She's 1.5 years and I just feel like she has no idea what I'm talking about, but I know that she gets my energy. I know that she senses that, and it's just important for me to slow down and take time like that to just say my gratitude, speak my gratitude. When I open up her curtains in the morning, I'm like, Aria, look, it's another beautiful day. We have so much to be grateful for. I'm constantly just instilling these moments of mindfulness into my day, and it makes such a big difference. I do this when I'm driving. I'll take a couple deep breaths. I'll start to actually tune in with what are my thoughts, what am I feeling, what am I thinking, what am I seeing? Just all different kinds of things that you can do to start to ground yourself a little bit more. I think that it allows you to move through the day with so much more ease and less pressure on yourself. I also do this with different reminders in my phone. So one of the questions that I also got asked was about things that I say to myself, phrases that I say to myself throughout the day. And what's funny is as soon as somebody asked me that, the next day I was outside hanging out with Aria and I got this random thought out of nowhere. I was not even thinking about this topic, but all of a sudden I got this thought of I am divinely protected and guided. And as soon as that came into me, I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a good one. And I really want to ground this energy. So I made it a reminder every single day at 3 p.m. I am always divinely protected and guided. And then I also have a reminder at 9:10 in the morning. This is usually the time that I'm going home from the gym and I'm actually getting started with my day. And the reminder says, I relax, I surrender, and I let go. And this is just my way of really sinking into my feminine energy. I think that I've been in a very masculine state of mind for many years, especially with entrepreneurship, constantly being on the go, constantly learning new things, constantly working 12-hour days in the past. Like I was very in my masculine, and now I'm in this season of my life where I actually want support. I want support from the universe. I want support, and I don't want to be just doing this all on my own. I want to know that every single step that I'm taking is actually impacting not only only me, but so many other people. And when you can bring in that divine connection, you will impact so many more lives. And I mean, I'm watching it literally right now. The podcast just now hit 1,000 downloads. And I genuinely believe that it's because I'm allowing myself to be led, and I'm not having this like super structured out type of podcast situation that I'm doing. I'm really just feeling into what do I feel like the collective needs to hear, and how can I truly provide value? How can I truly show up and help and heal? And I just feel like that intention is just so incredibly important. I also will say things like, I am here, I am now, whenever I notice that my mind starts to just kind of go off into space. Or let's say I'm cutting vegetables and then all of a sudden I'm thinking about what I have going on the next day or what happened in the morning or whatever. I really take a second to just say, I am here, I am now, even if it's in my head or out loud. But I make sure to just take a second to be like, I don't need to be so much in my head. I don't need to be overthinking. I don't need to be constantly picking apart all of the things that are in front of me. I really just need to surrender. I really just need to take a second to be present and absorb the present moment, because that's all we really have. Next, I do my best to view all of the challenges and obstacles in my life as learning experiences. So this is where you have to start to flip that script of everything is happening to me into everything is happening for me. And by repetitively doing that over and over and over again, and this comes down to the smallest things, like when you're late to go to somewhere, or when you drop your coffee all over your outfit walking out of Starbucks, or you back into somebody in the parking lot, instead of viewing all of those things as, oh my gosh, this just happened to me, I can't believe this, what did I do to deserve this? And you get into this victim mindset. You have to pull yourself out of this and be like, I mean, for me personally, I just laugh at it and I just say, oh, dang, that's crazy. That's super crazy that that's happening right now. Oh, well, I guess the universe has different plans for me and we're going to rock and roll with this and see where it goes. I do not allow my emotions to take control and make me super pissed off or anything like that, because I just know, like, I'm not going to give my energy to these things that don't need it. I have a lot of other things that my energy actually needs to go to. So if I'm giving it away to all of these petty little circumstances, I'm not going to have much left for myself. So I let things go very, very quickly, and I just move into a place of laughter and I don't really care, totally fine, everything's still gonna work out, and everything always does work out. Whenever something doesn't go my way, like let's say it's something that's completely out of my control, like Aria, my daughter, not being able to be watched for the day, or her daycare being closed randomly or something like that, instead of me sitting there and freaking out about how this is gonna be such an inconvenience, I just reframe my perspective and how I'm viewing these things and allow myself to just know that it's all going to work out. It's going to be totally fine. I don't have to worry about this. I can keep moving and grooving, and the universe just has different plans. Maybe I'm supposed to be with Aria for that day, or maybe I wasn't supposed to wear that outfit, or maybe I wasn't supposed to go to Starbucks, or whatever. I allow myself to just release control, and it just helps me just not take things so seriously. And I truly believe that is what elongates your life and just allows you to move through your life with so much more joy and peace, because you're not letting these little things that you don't have control over control you. If you think about it this way, every single obstacle and challenge that is placed into your path, you can look at it as the next challenge or the next obstacle to get to the next level. Like if you think about it, whenever you're playing a game, you usually have to like complete some kind of assignment or whatever to make sure that you're getting to that next level. That's really how I see these things. It's like, all right, if there's a lot of things kind of testing me right now, clearly I'm going through an upgrade season, and that's great. I'd love to be upgrading. I love upgrading constantly. So as much as it might suck right now, I know that it's not supposed to be easy, and changing your life and becoming a whole new person is not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to take a lot of time and repetition, and truly ingraining these practices into your life on a daily basis, down to the smallest things. Like whenever I spill something in my kitchen and it takes me 5 extra minutes to clean up before we go to the gym, now we're late to the gym. Any other person would be pissed off that they're late to the gym and now they don't have as much time to work out or whatever. And me, I just see it as like, oh man, that sucks. And then I realized that something else happened at the gym. I run into somebody and that person has an opportunity for me that's like, hey, you should go get your facials done at this place because that's going to allow you to go get free blah, 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 blah. Like whatever. It always ends up turning into something. So I've just allowed myself to release the reins and just fall into trust and know that everything is working out in my favor. I think that one of the hardest things for me to grasp in this whole topic is patience. I think that when you're a highly ambitious, driven individual, it is so easy for you to just get so caught up in the timeline of things, want things to work out at a specific time, want things to happen, and you're like, I just want to be living my dream life immediately. Why aren't things happening already? And having that patience is going to make things so much easier, but I know that this is something that is so hard to do when you are working so hard towards the life that you are wanting to live. And you really do have to detach from that immediate result. Having that patience is just knowing that you trust in divine timing and that it is going to fall into your lap at the perfect time for you. And these things are going to happen exactly as they should, when they should. I remember a time in my life, which was probably 2021 to 2022. That was when I was going through so much emotionally and just dealing with a lot, especially like financially as well. And during this point in time, I remember just being so confused on why my business wasn't progressing. My business was stagnant at this point. I wasn't seeing the success that I wanted when I was working so hard for it. And I was just so confused on what was going on. And I just remember every single day, every single time that I got into my car, I remember seeing angel numbers constantly. And these signs really just led the way for me in a beautiful way. I remember constantly just being reminded of like, I am on the right path, because I'd see these angel numbers and I'd be like, all right. I remember saying during this time, this is the time in my life that I am going to remember when everything is going crazy and chaotic, yet I'm getting all these signs that somehow it's working out and I don't understand it, but I just see that clearly it is, even if I am not understanding it currently. It definitely did not make sense because my reality didn't reflect success and everything happening for me, but I chose to trust in this anyways and deepen my belief systems, really study up on these things that I was trying to learn of how the universe works, how the law of attraction works, and truly build a foundation of knowing instead of constantly second guessing or wondering, okay, does manifestation actually work? Does this actually happen? And all of that kind of stuff. Now, if you're in a time period of your life right now where you feel like it's really hard for you to trust in everything working out, I would challenge you to actually reflect on when in your life have you given your trust away to someone or something, and that person or that thing fell short of your expectations. So if you can remember, usually you can go back to like your childhood or your high school, maybe it was your first love. You can really start reflecting on when was the first time or when was a big time where you experienced a lot of emotional trauma around an experience that had to do with giving your trust away. This could also be with like your parents, anyone who you were around that you gave your trust away to and they didn't meet those expectations. These are all moments in time that can really affect you deeply, and your body will keep score. It will keep count of these traumas. And this is where a lot of the journaling comes in, where you can do a lot of shadow work and release these experiences and view them as new and better things. So for example, personally, I remember in my sophomore year of high school, I ended up finding out that my boyfriend, my first love, quote unquote, he was cheating on me. And I just remember the feeling of being so hurt and curling up in a ball, sobbing my eyes out in my bed. I was literally like, my heart was shattered. It was shattered so deeply. And I thought that I was over this. I thought that I was over this like years ago. I was like, I have dealt with this. Like, that's no longer affecting me. I tried to see the relationship as like, okay, he taught me X, Y, and Z. And like, I really just tried to move past it. And what I didn't realize until this year, I was reading a book called Quantum Woman, and she gave some really good journal prompts to talk about specifically trust. And I reflected on different things, and all of these memories were coming up of the times in my past past that I've given my trust away and people have fell short of those, and they've backstabbed me or betrayed me, and just how badly that broke my trust. This situation specifically happened with a male figure or a boyfriend or a masculine energy of any sort. It could even be a woman who had more masculine energy. If there was a masculine energy that has betrayed you in your life, what I would encourage you to do is some journaling around this, because money is also a masculine energy. So money is there to support, to protect, to provide, to give you security and safety. And that is also what a healed masculine energy should also be doing. And therefore, if you have been betrayed by the masculine, then you automatically could be assigning that same meaning to the masculine of money as well. So you really do have to just do some reflecting and just go back and see if there are any times in your childhood or growing up that you have ever experienced betrayal from a masculine figure. Do some journaling on this. Allow yourself to release that experience and see it, how it has served you, and also how it has served them and what you learned from it, and allow yourself to fully release that, forgive, forget, and move on, so that you're no longer being held back by the experiences of your past. You have to recognize when fear and doubt is coming in, and you really do have to make sure that you are not allowing yourself to get into that victim mindset of constantly thinking that things are happening to you, and just allowing fear and doubt to rule your world and take you down, because it really is just an illusion. I literally have on my home screen of my desktop wallpaper, I have fear is an illusion, because I want myself to be reminded that that is not something that has control over me. That is only a result of past experiences, and now those past experiences are influencing my present and my future endeavors. And so I really do my best to just disconnect with fear and doubt and work through them, actually get to the root of where I'm feeling and thinking about these things, and allow myself to fully process it so that it's no longer connected to my identity, and I can move on with clarity. Lastly is surrounding yourself with people who are also on the same page as you about these types of things. So if you are wanting to just fall into trusting in your path, trusting in the universe, trusting in God, you also need to be surrounded by other people who are walking that same journey. And this will allow you to just feel like you're supported and you're guided, and you're not going to have those external influences constantly telling you like you're crazy, how can you see the positive in this, or whatever that they might be saying. If you can surround yourself in communities that are like-minded, you are going to be set up so much stronger. And that is exactly what I am doing with the girls who are in Aligned and Abundant. I am so excited for this program. This community of women are going to work through everything that they have experienced in their past. They are going to set up an incredible vision for the future, and they are going to unlock their fullest potential by becoming that version of themselves and having actionable steps to accomplish the manifestations and the dream life that they truly desire deep within. Now, the doors have practically closed on Friday the 20th, but I am going to make one exception. If you are listening to this right now and you want to get in before the first call that we do, I am going to open up only 2 spots for you to get in right before the first call that we do. So if you would like to do that, I am secretly doing this. Nobody else knows about this. Instagram already has the doors closed, but because you are a podcast listener and because I value you so much, I still want to give you the opportunity in case you missed it. So go ahead and apply through the link in the description. I'd love to have you with us. Please don't tell anyone. This is a secret only for the podcast listeners. And I just want to do this as my gift to you guys. Open up those 2 spots for women who are truly ready for change and ready to invest into their future and become the best version of themselves. I hope that this gave you some belief within the journey that you have ahead. I am so excited for you. I know that great things are on the way to you right now. And if you do have any questions or topics that you would like me to cover on the Secrets to Alignment podcast, please let me know through Instagram. You can always DM me. You can always reach out to me. I love hearing your guys' takeaways and the transformations that you are each having from listening to this every single Monday. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys soon.